Talor Gooch wins his third LIV event this year. Insane for the Range Goats. And Jake Span Golf, what's the motto, buddy?
Yo, cowboy up. I'm just saying it right now. Give me the Gooch, free the Gooch. Because it's time. We need to have this conversation. It's all about free the Gooch. Because now, you can't deny it. 3 wins, 1 year. He's actually, among the players playing on the mainline tours, the most winningest American this season amongst all tours and all wins combined. That's right, folks. The Gooch, with his 3 wins this season, is the top winning American. So free me the Gooch for the Ryder Cup.
I'm going to frame it this way. You know Xander Schauffele? You might have heard of him. You know Patrick Cantlay? Also, his name gets out there a bit. In the same time that both of these two Wonder Twins have won exactly 0 tournaments, Talor Gooch has won 3 tournaments. So, to me, makes sense. Let's move him up all the way to the number 4 spot in the Ryder Cup rankings for the U.S. team and pushing everyone down, including hanging on by a thread, Justin Thomas, who's going to go bye-bye soon because Ricky Fowler won today, and he's climbing up. Trending up Fowler, trending down Justin Thomas. But let's focus on Talor Gooch. How do we get this guy into the Ryder Cup?
You know, folks, it's going to take a collective group effort. And it's one that I think that us are ready to jump on the bandwagon and start this movement, guys. It's all about freeing the Gooch. So many times in life, it's important for us to be able to stand up and say, as a collective fan unit, that we support somebody, that we have a belief, that we know that somebody is actually really belonging. So many times on social media, we've seen movements take place and grow. We've seen things such as like BLM. We've seen things such as Me Too. Well, it's time for Free the Gooch. It's time to free the Gooch for Ryder Cup. So, folks, we're going to be creating a movement, and we want you to get on board with it. We don't want to have another big event where the Gooch belonged, but he was shunned. PGA Tour, Zach Johnson, it is time for you to do the right thing.
Here are the only 3 guys that are potentially above Talor Gooch right now. Scotty Scheffler, because he's got the Players' Championship, and he's got a regular tour win this year, so he's got 2 wins. And then you got big bad boy Wyndham Clark, who's got the U.S. Open, and he won a few weeks earlier than that as well. So he's got a win and a major. And then you also have Brooks Koepka, 1 LIV win, and obviously the PGA Championship. So I'd say, sure, those 3 guys ahead of Talor Gooch. But after that, again, it's Xander Schauffele in the 4th spot, Patrick Cantlay in the 5th spot, and oh no, Max Homa in the 6th spot. No, put Talor Gooch in the 4th spot. Push them all down 1. What say you?
It's time. It's about daggum time. You're absolutely right. The 3 guys that you mentioned above him make sense. I mean, again, at the end of the day, Wyndham Clark did win a major. So he's won 2 tournaments this year. Okay. I'm cool with him being where he's at. Scotty Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler has he finished outside the top 10 this season in a tournament? I mean, I think he has like once. But the point is that when he plays, he's hunting for skins. And plus, the guy is the best player in golf right now, tee to green. If only he could figure out how to putt, he'd be literal 2000 Tiger Woods right now.
After this Rocket Mortgage, where you had Colin Morikawa losing a playoff to Ricky Fowler, and I got tackled by a security guard, Adam Hadwin, but I did not sue like I should have. I looked it up. Canada has a assault charge. They don't have battery. You'd be suing for assault, Adam Hadwin, because this security guard probably cost you this tournament. Anyway, you've got Justin Thomas currently in the 11th spot, and in the number 12th spot, you have Colin Morikawa. Obviously, Morikawa is going to go above that with this tie for 2nd place finish. And then once we throw Gooch in there, now Justin Thomas is at the 13th spot. Yeah. Can we throw a little Bryson DeChambeau in there maybe?
Maybe. Bryson DeChambeau looked on form. You know, yes, he did end up losing, but it wasn't like a fall-apart loss. You know, Gooch just outplayed him on Sunday. And look, Valderrama is no cakewalk. The U.S. Open, yeah, it wasn't a U.S. Open, but it wasn't a cakewalk either. And Bryson played well there too. Bryson's been showing up to a lot more events recently. This lean format, Bryson DeChambeau, he's learning from longer, I think. It's like he just understands more about how to maintain your body and maintain your game. And so it's taken some time for him to develop that and figure out what this looks like. But I think we're seeing him rise immensely in golf maturity.
How much weight exactly did Bryson lose? Was it like 30 pounds?
I think it's 30 to 40 pounds because he was up to about 240. I mean, you look at the video of him at the Bay Hill in 2020, and the dude, looks like he could eat Bryson DeChambeau of today.
How about his distance right now? How much has he lost?
Maybe 20 yards. I mean, realistically, but I think that he specifically is doing that intentionally. Like, it's not actual yardage loss. I think it's more of intentional, not trying to overswing.
He's not cranking it up into the red zone. He's doing the fairway finders, keeping the ball in play.
If you watch him during the long drive championships, which were literally 9 months ago, where he was in the world championship and finished second place in long drive championship, only to Martin Borgmeyer, who he trains with. He was doing these overswings where he's literally trying to snap through, and you can just see the follow through to where he's almost turning his entire body 75 degrees past parallel on the follow through. He doesn't do that whenever he's playing right now. He's also not taking this atrociously aggressive stance whenever he's going on the backswing. He's taking more of a paced backswing, at least in comparison to what he was doing for long drive. So I think you're right on that. I think that he's being a little bit more studious, a lot more mature about his approach to golf.
So I'm going to put it this way. If we throw in Talor Gooch, now Justin Thomas is down to 13th. You throw in Bryson, he's down to 14th. I'm talking about Justin Thomas. Are we going to ignore Dustin Johnson? Went 5-0 last time.
Yeah. You can't ignore him either. But Dustin Johnson finished, I believe, third this weekend, if memory serves. No, he finished fourth. Sorry, finished fourth. Point is, though, he's finishing up there, and he's still being a part of the conversation. Yeah, he didn't exactly have the best moments at the U.S. Open. He had some spots where he gave some strokes away, like that quadruple bogey. I think he had like 2 quads, actually, or whatever. Point is, though, is that, yes, he's playing good enough golf to be in that conversation and should be there. There are legitimately right now 4 Americans on LIV that have every reason to be at the Ryder Cup. The biggest one, though, that I think has the most roadblocks against him right now is Talor Gooch. And that's a crying shame.
So you're telling me this dude has outperformed everyone on LIV Golf Tour 3 times just this season alone. This is the dude they're trying to keep out of the U.S. Open and now the Ryder Cup.
Yeah. And for those of you folks out there, I know prior to this season, a lot of you haters were out there trying to compare Talor Gooch to like Max Homa. Talor Gooch has had a much better history at major championships than Max Homa. First of all, Talor Gooch has made the cut about 3 times more often when he plays a major than Max Homa does. Not only that, he does have a top 25 finish in a major championship. Actually, he has a couple that are up there. He's consistently played better in major championships than Max Homa. And yet nobody's talking about Max Homa being a question mark for the Ryder Cup. Right now, the PGA is supposed to be sitting in a situation where they merge with LIV Golf and put bygones at bygones. And we're not seeing that. We're not seeing enough forward thinking and enough real talk. This needs to be the moment of the whole coalescing coming together. This needs to be the moment. If the Ryder Cup doesn't see a merger, like a true merger and a true representation of LIV golfers, at least on the American team, we have a problem.
I'm going to double down and go real talk 2.0. Let's talk about the European team. Let's talk about the fact that this is an exhibition. This is when you want the big name needle movers. This is when you want Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter, Sergio Garcia, Paul Casey. Maybe they're in form, maybe they're not in form. But just like in the UFC, when you have guys that maybe shouldn't be fighting anymore, you still throw them in there because they bring the name value, and that's who people know and want to see. Sure, some other guy might be able to beat Ian Poulter by a stroke and a half a round, but no one really cares because it's an exhibition.
Exactly. This is a moment that's supposed to be the biggest moment in golf every 2 years. Like, there's the majors and then there's the Ryder Cup. And this is one of those moments that everyone watches. The European LIV players are not really in form right now. Really, Heinrich Stenson, who should have been the captain this time around, is the best one out of that lot. outside of maybe Thomas Peters. But Thomas Peters really hasn't shown me enough this season to really think so. He did have some moments at major championships, but he really hasn't shown much otherwise. But you're absolutely right. Sergio Garcia, Ian Poulter, Lee Westwood, I think Luke Donald needs to bring them in at least as assistant captains if they're not going to let them play.
I'm all in. Let them play. And this is your cash cow. This is what you want to make money with. This is when you bring in your big movie stars, essentially.
That's essentially what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, who's going to sell more tickets or create more hype? Yannick Paul or Ian Poulter?
I mean, to me, the answer is obvious, especially when you have the stated goal in mind of exhibition golf, bringing fans to the sport, creating hype. You got to bring Poulter in. Let's do this. Everyone, let's put aside the differences for a little bit, bring everyone on board, get the stars from LIV back onto the Ryder Cup. And I think to symbolize this, the battle cry will be free the Gooch.
Free the Gooch.
Folks, subscribe, share, and like, and get in the comment section and let us know what you think after, of course, you subscribe to Jake's Band Golf.